Shit. Gotta wake up and do another review, but I don't want to get out of bed. It takes too much effort. Hey, Salem, why don't you go sit in my chair?
Alley-oop! Alright. We just going for a lazy day today?
No, just hold still. Hey, this is efficient. Thanks, Salem.
Bitch.
In case you're wondering where I got this little toy, it's actually a souvenir from this indie game that came to the WiiU eShop last November. A game accurately titled Swapfire. In this game's universe, a corporation that has made millions off of consumer teleportation technology has modified this tech into laser guns. When one player shoots another with this laser, the shooter and the target swap places, hence the name Swapfire. So with this technology, the corporation created a sport out of it with different types of games. Graphically, this game looks decent for what it is. Lighting, character models, visual effects, the developers certainly made an effort even if this wouldn't be considered top-of-the-line graphics. The sound design is good too. The music fits with the game and makes it more fun, and the sound effects are what you'd expect them to be. Voice acting is limited to the news cutscenes before each tournament, and I'm not gonna lie, these lip-flapping characters are kinda creepy and the cutscenes can go on for quite a while. Don't get me wrong, the voice acting isn't that bad here, and the presentation does stand out. It's just these scenes feel rather bizarre and awkward, but luckily you can fast forward them.
Justin, what do you have to say about this year's cup structure?
Well, Jeeves, these new games sound very intriguing. I wish I could compete again. That said, the overall formula is very similar. The quantum...
Yes, can we skip to the games, please? Right away, it's clear that this is a very different shooter than what people may be used to since you swap places with other players rather than shoot them dead. And for the most part, that uniqueness actually works in the game's favor. There is a single-player mode in this game, but really that's just for training you in the game's mechanics. The real game is the multiplayer. In total, there are 9 maps here, each with its own game mode, cleverly using the swap concept. To the credit of the developers, they did show off impressive ideas with all this that made sense. Some of the best ones were jumping off a ledge, then swapping with another player so that they fall instead of you to get points. Or racing, swapping boxes into your pool for points, King of the Hill, zone control, even soccer. Or rather, Swacker. Heh, I see what you did there. Some of these modes are familiar to gaming veterans, at least by name, but the whole swap concept is used to make the gameplay unique and fun. Some things were added to the maps for players to feel justified using teleporting lasers, especially because you can't take a flag away or claim a zone by killing someone. Instead, you have to learn how to hone the game's mechanics and win the tournaments. Control-wise, this game also succeeds. The movement and aiming controls are simple and accurate, and there aren't a lot of additional buttons to memorize. Just shoot, jump, and use a special. Plus, developer Midnight Status took the time to make this game playable with multiple controllers. The only thing that might be a problem is that this game can become very disorienting, especially if you keep getting tagged unexpectedly. You're constantly having to be aware of where you end up so you can make your next move to score points. In that way, combined with the other factors of these modes and maps, there's a good need for strategy here. It's so much about moving and positioning yourself just right, swapping with someone at the right time, and constantly moving so that you can rack up enough points to win. And that makes for a fun game. But this still isn't a perfect game. I realize that this is an indie game, but with only 9 modes with 1 map each, the fun doesn't usually last long. It doesn't help that 1 or 2 of the modes can get pretty annoying to play. Also, even though AI bots take up any player slots not occupied by humans, you can't adjust their skill level in any way to make them easier or harder. But even with this game's flaws, this is one of those indie games that brings something new to the FPS genre, and for the most part, this new concept is well executed. This game is currently on the WiiU eShop for $15, which isn't a bad price for it. I think $10 is more of the sweet spot. However, this game was actually being sold for free at one point recently, so it could very well go on sale again. I do think that for Wii U owners who like first-person shooters but want something different, this is a good game to download, especially if you get it on sale. And that's my review of Swapfire for the Wii U. If you like this review, check out my previous review of this other Wii U indie game called Freeze Me, or check out my review of this unique first-person shooter for the GameCube called Geist. See you all next time!